This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 train. The next stop is
Wall Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Not Your Advisor with NYU Grad on Wednesday, September 11th. Before we jump into today's session, I'd like to have a quick moment of silence in honor of those who perished on that day. Thank you for following along with that moment of silence. If you know anyone who tragically died that day, whether they were a first responder, a victim someone that went to work, or in the subsequent years in the wars that we've been fighting in Afghanistan. If you've lost someone, I am truly sorry, and it was a horrible day for this country as well as New Yorkers. I read a crazy stat that 25% of this country was not alive, like they were not born yet when this happened 23 years ago. If you don't know what happened that day, I would highly recommend you research it. I'm not going to go into a deep dive, but I remember where I was when this happened that morning, and it was a really sad, shocking day. But let's cover the markets. Unfortunately, I do have to cover that. It was a crazy session today. So looking at breadth, we had 466 new highs versus 267 new lows. We had 59% of stocks advancing versus 37% declining. 47% of stocks were below their respective 50-day moving average. 38% of stocks were below their 200-day moving average. Now, the CPI data came out this morning, and it was all over the place. Initially, when the data came out, we rallied. Then we fell. Then we spiked. Then we fell. Then we spiked. It was all thanks to, when I look at the day as a whole, the rally was all thanks to a short squeeze on NVIDIA, which set off in motion additional short squeezes and buying. In the morning session, I kid you not, we were down over Dow 300 plus points, and we reversed like a dime. I had posted on the private chats. I'll share some of this with the free subscribers before the market opened during the pre-market session that I was going to expect rotation into safety today. That was around 8:30 a.m. And around 9:15 a.m., I said market may have blew their load too soon pre-open. Watch breath. And that's when pre-market, the markets were rising on the CPI data after it fell. And then once we opened, we sold off hard. We were down like 600-700 points on the Dow at one point. And I then posted several levels where I suspected a bounce near that 5400 ES level, which was the previous low from the yen carry trade unwind news. Or if that didn't hold, we were going to just keep falling into the abyss. And I marked 5100. I take that back. 5,400-ish was not the yen carry trade low. That was just the low from September 1st, the first week of September. The 5,100 level was the yen carry trade low. And I marked those as two possible areas where the S&P futures should bounce. We did not get to the 400 level, but we got really close and then we bounced. We bounced very hard. I have a screenshot here of the morning session when the Dow was down 330 points. NVIDIA at which time was up 4.3% by itself. It was the only Mag 7 that was up with any substance, and that just basically ignited a short squeeze. So we closed the day in the green. The Dow closed up 124 points. The NASDAQ closed up 369 points, or 2.1%. The S&P closed up 58 points, or 1%. So huge reversal. The low of today should hold as support. It shouldn't be easy to break that low. I'm not saying it's going to hold forever. What I'm saying is if we get there, we should see some type of defense like we did today. Looking at Mega Kaplan, so 3 of the Mag 7 are now above the 50-day, but that means 4 are still below it. Microsoft was up 2.1%. Apple was up 1.16%. Google was up 1.4%. Meta was up 1.4%. Amazon was up 2.7%. Tesla was up 0.87%. These are all percentages. NVIDIA closed the day up 8.15%. That is pretty much all that happened today. When I take a look at the sectors, tech was up 3% today. Consumer cyclical was up 1.24%. Communication services was 1.18%. Tech stuck out like a sore thumb. So whether it was, because I don't know if you know this, but Biden, Harris, Trump, pretty much everyone that is a candidate for president or VP was in my neighborhood today. So I suspect when the sell-off started happening this morning that someone like a Biden, someone like Jerome Powell got a message or sent out the message that not today. They're all there for the memorial services for September 11th. I don't think anybody wanted to deal with a market crash today with all of this going on for September 11th. So I honestly believe it was a text or a phone call that said, not today, make sure this gets reversed. And unfortunately, that's how the market is behaving. It's very binary. It's very manipulated. And there's no doubt in my mind that NVIDIA short squeeze triggered this defense today. Now, will this hold for a few days, a few weeks? We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Tomorrow morning, we have the PPI. And on Wednesday of next week, we have the FOMC rate cut decision. So let me go through real quickly what was strong, what was weak today. The what was strong was pretty long, so I'm going to go through these rapid fire. You had Cara Sushi up 12.69%, ARM Holdings up 10.3%, NVIDIA, as I noted, up 8.03%, Affirm Holdings 7.9%, SMCI 7.8%, Roku 6.8%, Uranium 6.8%, Broadcom 6.7, ASML Holdings 6.49, Sweetgreen 6.1, Lyft 6.12, Rivian 5.29, Reddit 5.28, SMH 5.17, Hims and Hers 5.09, DraftKings 5.08, Shopify 4.91, SOX Semiconductor Index 4.9, AMD 4.9, HCMR Research 4.8, Zeta Global Holdings 4.8, Lam Research 4.8, TerraWolf 4.25, let's see, Zscaler 3.75, Extreme Networks 3.5. So I'll leave the rest up for you to see. You can obviously tell it was a very risk-on day. What was weak? The VIX down 7%, CarMax down 3.2, natural gas futures down 2.79, AbbVie down 2.3, Riot down 2.07. For free members, what to watch? You have the PPI data coming out tomorrow morning, and then it's pretty much waiting till next week for the Fed rate cut decision. I will see you all after the Thursday session. Premium members, please stay on so we can go over some charts. That's my train.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.